Okay, so we should get going. I should say, first off, thank you to the violinist. I know her well. I am Richard Jones, a city clerk, and it is my distinct pleasure to preside, if I can use that word, and say on behalf of all elected officials and my fellow city employees, I would like to simply welcome you to this inauguration. It's a case of first impression. This is the first time we've had an inauguration without the mayor. The mayor is here. But it's one of the first times under the new charter that we have an off year, if you will. Maybe I shouldn't say off year. We have a different year.
Yes, thank you.
I thought I'd make a misstatement, but not so soon. So today, there will be 11 city councilors, 8 returning and 3 new, and 4 school committee members, 2 returning for 4-year terms, 1 new member for a 4-year term, and 1 new member for a 2-year term. And we'll all be sworn in to serve the city of Newburyport. The process today has essentially 2 parts. First, the city council is organized. They're sworn in and they elect their president. It's traditional that the president then offers remarks. I can say he would offer remarks because it would only be a he. That means something. Secondly, the school committee is organized, they're sworn in, and thereafter the vice chair offers remarks. So, before we execute those 2 parts, I'll ask you to stand for 3 important things: an invocation, a pledge of allegiance, and the national anthem. Here is our invocation. I'd like to call upon Reverend Ross Varney of the Belleville Congregational Church to offer the invocation.
Well, we are a community of many different beliefs and views about God or non-God, and this week the Clergy Association is actually inviting an Islamic leader to the synagogue for some words on their faith. I am a follower of the Christian path, and though for public prayer I will invoke only the spirit of a universal sense to be our guide. Please join me in a moment of silence and then prayer. Our call this evening, our invocation, is upon the spirit of our better natures and upon the source of that spirit. So we call upon a spirit of goodness and mercy, a spirit of truth and kindness, a spirit of civil dialogue where all might be heard, a spirit of collaboration and compromise where needed. And we call upon a spirit that accepts our differences and acknowledges divergent opinions and convictions, a spirit that is able to disagree without being disagreeable, a spirit that refrains from personal insult or attack or denigration of anyone on the other side of some issue. In short, we call on a spirit of goodness and truth and peaceful kind of collaboration as we embark on a new year and set the tone for our new year. And may it be so. Amen.
You could stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance this year, we're going to ask a number of talented children in the room. They are children and grandchildren of council members and committee members. If they can come right into the center right here. I see Tom Chase and others. Right there. Here comes, I know Scout's coming. Hi, Scout. Great. Are we here? Are we ready to start? I'm going to have to help you a little bit. I'm not too good at this. Ready? So here's the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Next, it's my great pleasure to introduce Ann Orman. She's president of the Newburyport Chamber of Commerce, who now will sing the national anthem for us.
Not quite as cute as the kids. Please. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Again, thank you to Ann Orman. Just a marvelous gift. So, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Mayor Holliday, who's going to give some welcoming comments.
Thank you, Richard. And I will not be giving a preview of my state of the city as indicated in our local paper, and I'm sure you're all thrilled about that. There'll be plenty of time for our state of the city. Anyway, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the inauguration tonight. This is, as Richard said, something different, a new tradition, and new traditions are always good. We might obviously have to think about space when we do our next one of these inaugural events, but welcome city councilors, new city councilors to be elected tonight for the first time, and to school committee members and to our new school committee members. Susan Vaccaro, our superintendent, is here. Assistant Superintendent Angela Bick is somewhere. We have several department heads, and I thank you all for being here, and especially your family and your friends. You all supported this election, your family members, and we all know as elected officials how challenging elections can be. So congratulations to all of you and to your family members for being here to support in this new endeavor. It has been an amazing past 6 years for me serving as the mayor of the city, and I applaud the work that we have done together, the city councilors and the school committees. One thing that has changed, I think, pretty significantly over the last several years is the intensive and diligent work that is being done by committees of the city council and the school committee. I look forward to our continued work together. We have a very heavy agenda going into 2016, and I know that together as city councilors and school committee members, we will continue to make the decisions in the best interest of our city. Congratulations and welcome tonight.
Thank you, Mayor Holliday, very much. At this point, we'll formally organize city government by starting with a roll call for the city council. Please indicate whether you're present. Counselor-elect Edward C. Cameron Jr.
Present.
Counselor-elect Barry N. Connell.
Present.
Counselor-elect Robert J. Cronin.
Present.
Counselor-elect Joseph H. Devlin.
Present.
Counselor-elect Gregory D. Earls.
Present.
Counselor-elect Jared J. Eigerman.
Here.
Counselor-elect Larry G. Junta.
Present.
Counselor-elect Thomas F. O'Brien.
Present.
Counselor-elect Charles F. Tontar. Is absent Counselor-elect Bruce L. Vogel.
Present.
Counselor-elect Sharif I. Zeed.
Present.
Terrific. We will now do the oath of office. Counselors, as I read your name, please stand individually, raise your right hand, and repeat your name. And then we'll do the oath collectively together. Edward C. Cameron Jr.
I, Edward C. Cameron Jr.
Barry N. Connell.
I, Barry M. Connell.
Robert J. Cronin.
I, Robert J. Cronin.
Joseph H. Devlin.
I, Joseph H. Devlin.
Gregory D. Earls.
Hi, Gregory D. Earls.
Jared J. Eigerman.
Hi, Jared J. Ackerman.
Larry G. Junta.
I, Larry G. Junta.
Thomas F. O'Brien.
I, Thomas F. O'Brien.
Charles F. Tontar is absent. Bruce L. Vogel.
I, Bruce L. Vogel.
Sharif I. Zeed.
I, Sharif I. Zeed.
Repeating collectively after me, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge
discharge
and perform the duties of
and perform the duties of
Counselor of the City of Newburyport,
Counselor of the City of Newburyport,
to which I have been elected
to which I have been elected
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
the laws of the Commonwealth,
the laws of the Commonwealth,
the Charter,
the Charter,
and ordinances of the City of Newburyport,
and ordinances of the City of Newburyport,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you, and please be seated. City Council meeting is now called to order. We'll now proceed to elect a president of the City Council for the year 2016. Councilors, please announce your choice for president when the roll call is made. Councilor Cameron.
I love it when I get to go first. Thomas Francis O'Brien.
Councilor Connell.
Thomas Francis O'Brien.
Councilor Cronin.
Thomas Francis O'Brien.
Councilor Devlin.
Thomas F. O'Brien.
Councilor Earls.
Thomas O'Brien.
Councilor Eigerman.
Thomas O'Brien.
Councilor Junta.
Thomas Francis O'Brien.
Councilor O'Brien.
Thomas Francis O'Brien.
Councilor Vogel.
Thomas O'Brien.
Councilor Zeed.
Thomas F. O'Brien.
Surprisingly, a unanimous vote for Thomas F.
You don't have to worry, I don't like to speak long, so I'm usually short and to the point, but I'd just like to thank my counselors for voting me in for my 11th time as president of the City Council in my 19th year of service with the City Council. I'd like to thank the mayor. I'd like to represent Calcourse for coming down here tonight. I appreciate you coming down and showing the support of the City Council. It means a lot to me personally and to these other councils, I'm sure. Thank you for coming. I'd like to thank Reverend Varney for the beautiful words. I think you must have stolen my speech because most of those words were in my speech. But so you couldn't. I might as well go home now. You said it perfectly. Thank you very much. Like working together, that's what we have to do. Thank you. And for the perfect job in singing the national anthem. I want to thank the department heads. It means a lot for me to see you here, for being here to, you know, I know you always come to the mayor ones, but, you know, we're the small peanuts here. But I appreciate you coming. We're here to support you during the year. We work as a team together with all of you, and it means a lot for you, for you to be here tonight. I thank you. As I stand before you this evening, have been entrusted with the duty and the honor of serving as your council president. Like I said, for the 11th time in my 19th year of service, I've served Ward 6 during all that time. I'm humbled by the fact that I served this capacity following some great human beings over the last 165 years. The city became a city in 1851. 10 years after that great man, Frederick Douglass, came to our city in 1841 to speak about slavery. And years later, someone by the name of William Lloyd Garrison formed, in 1831, he formed the Liberator. His statue's right out front here. He was born on School Street, down in the South End, and living on Atwood Street for 20 years growing up. I knew School Street very well and used to visit that house and look at that sign, and I think that meant a lot, the liberator, the freedom, and that's what William Lloyd Garrison wrote for. Also, there's a man who served many years at the city council, and I have to tell my family I won't be trying to catch his record. Edward G. Perkins served for the city council for 42 years and served 15 as council president from 1910 to 1953. I think his record will stand. Perkins Playground was named for him down the South End in 1945. I feel Newburyport has a deep-rooted legacy of enlightenment, fairness, and justice. It is our duty, I feel, as elected official to defend and sustain those principles through our legislative work. In fact, it was our native son, William Lloyd Garrison, who said, "That which is not just is not law." So as we convene this new council session, and the school committee will convene later on in the evening, let us be ever mindful that we like fairness, and safeguarding justice requires that all voices be heard, that all issues be debated openly and civilly, and decisions are based on not on one's personal agendas, but which is fair and just for the people who elected us as their representatives. As elected representatives from the specific areas of the city and the city at large, that means there will be disagreement. I've been here for 18 years, and there is disagreement. It's no secret that I voted against bringing water and sewer to Plum Island years ago because the people I represented in Ward 6 didn't feel it would help them. It would raise their water bills and their sewer bills. They didn't want it, and I felt there were too many negatives at that time. And at that time, there was a 10-to-1 vote. So you might find some of those 10-to-1 votes in this year or next year, but you have to stand by your opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. Just because 9 people might disagree with you, your opinion is just as valuable as theirs. So stick with your opinions and stick with who you represent. It's also no secret that last year in this council, on the plastic bag ordinance, 6-to-5 vote. There was vehement discussion on plastic bags, banning plastic bags, but that's over with. The people that voted against it, like myself, I felt it would hurt the handicapped and would hurt also the disabled. That's why I voted against it. That's what my constituents told me, and that's why I voted no. The ordinance passed and was implemented, and we local lawmakers have to continue to discuss, debate, and decide on the next issues at hand. Everything wasn't negative. We did have a lot of positive happenings. The new elementary school, the new senior community center, the new stadium, the James Stalin Field at the high school. As elected representatives, like I said, we must have the courage to make our viewpoints known, to state our cases, and not be afraid to be the lone vote against a 10-member majority. Have the courage of your convictions, as long as those convictions are embedded in fairness and justice to all. And they have the courage to move ahead to the next issue, clear-headed, unclouded by the feeling of defeat. This year we'll have many issues before us as we assemble here on this cold night in January. Over the course of the next 2 years, the council will make decisions which I feel will affect not just the lives of members of the community now, but future generations of Newburyport residents and merchants. Some of the issues which I like to see discussed in detail during the next year, more sidewalks. Sidewalks, one issue I'm going to be voting for, pushing for, is Noble Street. Noble Street is a pathway to our 2 shopping centers and also to the new CVS. There's a pathway there, but it's covered up. We have to make that more accessible to people that walk with the baby carriages, take their bikes. I feel it's necessary to do that. there have been a lot of sidewalks issues that have been passed over the past years. From Ferry Road to Pine Hill Road, the sidewalk, with the help of the mayor, getting the money. I mean, that has been a great addition to that area to help people be able to walk down to the park. Also, something I pushed for 10 years, so if you stay 10 years, you can keep pushing your issues. So, but 10 years I pushed the roundabout. You know, some people didn't like it, some did. I think it was a good thing from slow down the traffic coming to that area, and we also got a sidewalk there. So my dream is to have a sidewalk from Moseley Pines going all the way up Spofford Street, connected on Spofford Street, going all the way down to Pine Hill Road. And after the Whittier Bridge is done, hopefully they have promised that they might do a path for us in that section from Pine Hill Road down to Moseley State Park. So eventually, my dream is to be able, you could park at Moseley Pines, walk, take your carriage, bike, and go all the way to Moseley State Parks. So that's one of the things I'm looking for this year. There's a parking garage. That will be discussed. To me, this is a high-cost item, and I need proof that this facility is necessary for year-round use and not just for homecomings and festivals and a place for residents to park in the winter. The overwhelming response I've received from residents who were grateful that I've spoken out about the cost and necessity has been very heartwarming to me. This will be for the council this year. 40R Smart Growth District. That was another issue where it was an 8-3 vote, if my memory serves me correct, for put smart growth, 520 to 40 apartments out in the circle. I think it's too many. Other people didn't. You know, hopefully maybe we can look at it again and cut it down to 300, and we might have an 11-0 vote. Who knows? You know, I just think if we can adjust that, because I just think it's too much to have 500 in that area, especially with going across the street. You got the sustainable living going to be across the street, and you got Minko going in now. So just something that'll be coming before us again. The sewer plant. Our first meeting in January, we're going to have a transfer of $113,000 from the reserve account to fund the design at the plant. Usually, because of the charter, you have to do things twice. You can't vote on anything. I'm going to ask the council. I usually don't like to vote things once. I like to look at it and like the charter said, but I feel this is an emergency. We have to do the design. We have to, 2 weeks, in my mind, will slow down what will happen in the summertime. These residents, they need to have their summers back. I was born on Atlas Street, and I know Lime Street well. Used to play in the Lime Street playground where the sewer plant is now. I have great memories down there. I want these residents in Ward 1 and 2 to have those good memories too, and not have to close their windows during the summer. So I'm going to ask you, when it comes before the council on Monday night, to vote yes if you find it in your heart, and not wait the 2 meetings, because 2 weeks will slow down something in the summer. So that will be coming before us. The Central Water Fund. I appointed an ad hoc committee during the year at the suggestions of Councilor Cameron and Councilor Cronin to bring together all different boards to create a waterfront picture. We met for about 6 weeks, and I feel that we made great progress under the expert leadership of Councilor Jared Eichmann. Great job. Great job. And I will continue this valuable committee this term. I think it's been very good, and Councilor Eichmann is going to chair it again, so thank you again. There will also be the never-ending pressure of the city annual budget. You new councilors, wait till May and June. When all the budget comes in, and you're going to get all these calls from everyone around here and everyone over here saying, this is what we want, but we have to look at the whole city, and we have to do what's best for all the city. But there's some tough decisions, and sometimes you say no to something that means something to you, but sometimes that has to be done. The two councilors coming back, Councilor Devlin, Councilor Zeed, this is new to you. Councilor Earls, like I said, welcome back. We'll need your expertise in going through this. And Councilor Earls will be on the Joint Ed Committee. He was on it before, and I think his expertise will be needed in that area again. So that's what we have. There'll be a lot more issues coming up. There's a lot more things to discuss, but like I said, it's a cold night, and the school committee's got to get sworn in. I just really appreciate the support of the department heads for coming out tonight, and I really appreciate the support of the councilors to vote me again as 11th time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think, can you entertain a motion to adjourn?
I'll take a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you, councilors. If you can remain in your seats while we swear the school committee in. So what we'll do is we're going to have 4 newly elected school committee members. Again, as I read your name, please stand and repeat your name, and then we'll continue the oath together. I, Nicholas B. Decanter.
I, Nicholas Decanter.
I, David A. Hockheiser.
I, David A. Hockheiser.
I, Bruce M. Menon.
I, Bruce M. Menon.
I, Christine E. Miller.
I, Christine E. Miller.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
That I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
and perform the duties of
and perform the duties of
a school committee member
a school committee member
of the city of Newburyport,
of the city of Newburyport,
to which I have been elected
to which I have been elected
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
the laws of the Commonwealth,
the laws of the Commonwealth,
the charter
the charter,
and ordinances of the city of Newburyport,
ordinances of the city of Newburyport,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you very much. We'll do a roll call vote now of the school committee. Committee member Cole.
Here.
Committee member Decanter.
Here.
Committee member Hockheiser.
Here.
Committee member Holliday.
Here?
Committee member Menon.
Here.
Committee member Miller.
Here.
And committee member Sweeney.
Here.
We'll now elect the vice chair of the school committee. So when I read the roll, please announce your choice for vice chair. Committee member Cole.
Cheryl G. Sweeney.
Committee member Decanter.
Cheryl G. Sweeney.
Committee member Hockheiser.
Cheryl Sweeney.
Committee member Mayor Holliday.
Cheryl Sweeney.
Committee member Menon.
Cheryl Sweeney.
Committee member Miller.
Cheryl Sweeney.
And committee member Sweeney.
I'll make it unanimous.
Another shocking vote. At this point, traditionally, the vice chair will say a few words. I hope that's okay. Terrific.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming. Thank you, Mayor Holliday. President Councilman O'Brien, thank you. I'd like to recognize Superintendent Vaccaro in the back row. And I would recognize our Assistant Superintendent, Angela Beck. I found her, she's right in the front row, Mayor. Thank you so much to City Council and my esteemed colleagues on the school committee. I'm really looking forward to this next year. I think it'll be a new year for the Newburyport schools. We are, for all intents and purposes, finished with our 2 grand building projects, which I know a lot of you in this room had a lot to do with that completion, and that was done for the children of Newburyport. So I want to thank you for that, and we will continue to use those facilities for the best education we can possibly provide for our children. We are embarking on a strategic plan. We used to have a strategic plan. It was probably 800 pages, and it sat on a shelf. So this year, the superintendent has brought in a consultant for us, and we are working on a brand-new strategic plan for the schools. The strategic plan will include everything we're looking forward to in our schools. We are going to reimagine learning, we hope. We are looking for support from community members. We have formed 7 separate action teams of people who have a leader, including school committee members, and people in the community. So our hope is that we will build a strategic plan for all of us, our children and the people in the city of Newburyport. budget is always something we need to speak about, and Mr. O'Brien, you mentioned that to me as well. We have already had the first meeting as per the charter for our city budget. The school committee and the city council met together, I believe it was in December, and we talked about the state of the city. The school committee itself and the superintendent is working on, we're working on a 3-year plan for our budget so that we can have a pathway. We know the goals we're working for, and as a matter of fact, I would like to invite all of you tomorrow night. We're having a public forum on our budget. We would love to see that room filled. We want to hear what the people want for the schools. I am delighted to be again the vice chair of the Joint Ed Committee. I look forward to working with my colleagues from the City Council. I think, welcome back, Mr. Earls, we worked together in the past. I think it's a wonderful way to communicate. The city councilors meet with us once a month, and we talk about issues that are facing the schools, and then the city councilors come back and report that business to the city council. So in that communication, I think we'll have a much better understanding of where we all would like to go with the reality of the constraints of our budget. I can't tell you how delighted I am to continue working with Susan Baccaro and Angela Bick. Hopefully they will be staying with us for a while. And I think that is an important thing for the schools of Newburyport. As you know, we've had a lot of turnover. And I think we've now found the right mix. I think we found the right school committee. I think we've found the right chair of the school committee. And I think that our administrators will work diligently to support the dedicated staff that we have in our schools. We are a very lucky city. We have some wonderful teachers and people who work in our buildings with your children every single day. And I want to honor those teachers that do that job. They come back to the classroom, they're energetic, they are learners, they want to do the best job they can do. But we have one goal, and that goal is to do what's best for the children of Newburyport. And together, with your help, that's the goal that we as a school committee would like to reach this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now have a music selection. It's called Keep Hope Alive. It's written and performed by Reverend Ross Varney.
Times are hard today. Will we find our way? Leaders come along. Strategic plans make us strong. And new members start tonight. So change is sure to come. Highest hope and expectations for all that can be done. Yes, keep hope alive. Just give it time. If together we strive, new light will shine. We will thrive together over time. Yes, we'll thrive together over time. But change can't happen overnight. Patience is the way, and every voice can shed some light. New rays every day, and nobody can do it all. Not the chair nor the mayor. So to wish for that would only send us falling to despair. Yes, keep hope alive. Just give it time. If together we strive, new light will shine. We will thrive together over time.
We're almost done, but not quite. I know I speak on behalf of everyone. I'm in awe. Not only did he perform it so beautifully, but he wrote it, and I think it was an appropriate piece for sure. So, again, thank you so much. Well, the one thing that we didn't do was adjourn the school committee meeting, so someone... Oh, I didn't call him to order? Wouldn't be the first thing tonight I did incorrectly. Well, let's assume that the school committee is called to order. And we did do a roll call vote. Would someone entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. The most important thing I should say, besides thank you all for coming, there are some faces in here I don't know, which means I know you're probably family members and you watch, I'm sure, on TV all the time. But on behalf of the City Council and School Committee, everyone in the room and outside the room in the hallway are invited to light refreshments at the second floor function room at the Port Tavern on State Street here in Newburyport. Thank you all for coming. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say have a most happy and healthy new year. Thank you so much.